Hi everyone and welcome back to Barker-Stargazer's YouTube channel, a craft channel which mainly focuses on crochet, and that's what we'll be doing again today. This week I'll be adding another episode to the series Good Free Patterns. All of these good free patterns I have found through Pinterest, and if you're interested in following any of these patterns, follow these instructions here, which will take you to a Pinterest board I've set up with all of these patterns on. If I've commented on the pattern, I've tried it. As this video is coming out on October 1st, I thought we should jump straight into a Halloween theme. So we're going to start with the classic, which is familiar, the cat. The first pattern was pinned by Sonia Hall's art, and it is this lovely two-coloured 2D cat silhouette. For all projects today, I'm using Aran weight yarn in burgundy and black, and I'll be using either a 5mm or 4.5mm hook. As we'll be dealing with a chart here, here's a helpful chart all about the symbols we'll be using today. Thanks for that, Thea. Starting at this center of this chart in black, we're going to start with a magic circle, and we're working 6 double crochet into the magic circle, and that's basically round 1. And we move on to round 2. We've got 1 double crochet and 1 half treble in the first stitch, and then we have 2 treble crochet in the second stitch, and that needs to be repeated one more time, which takes me to here on the chart. So I'm starting now with the burgundy. I'm attaching it to the work with a slip stitch here. In the next stitch from row 1, you are placing 1 double crochet and 1 half treble. The next 8 stitches all have 2 treble crochets in them. And then we need to switch back to black. We're going to place 2 black trebles into the first burgundy stitch we created, and 2 trebles in each of the next 5 stitches. Still in your black yarn, you now need to start the pattern 1 treble in the next stitch, 2 trebles in the stitch after that. This pattern needs repeating a total of 6 times in black, and then 5 times in burgundy. Now, still working in the burgundy, place 1 half treble and 1 double crochet in the next stitch, followed by 5 double crochets over the next 5 stitches. And this takes us to the tail, which is done with a chain of 15 with 4 double crochet worked into said chain before breaking the burgundy yarn off. We're done with the burgundy now. back to the black. We need to do 3 treble crochet over the next 3 stitches, then a treble decrease over the next 2, and now we're going to start working on the head. So we actually need to turn our work with a chain 1. We skip the next 2 stitches and then place 5 trebles into the stitch after that. Skip 2 stitches again and slip stitch into the next. Chain 1 and turn. Now we have 1 double crochet, and then we need to make the ears in the next stitch, and we do this by placing 1 half treble, 2 trebles, then we chain 2 and do a slip stitch back into the first chain we made, and then put an additional 1 treble and 1 half treble into the same stitch that we put the other stitches into. That creates a lovely little point for the ear. We skip 1 stitch, place a slip stitch, skip the next stitch, and then we repeat the ear pattern again in the stitch after that. Finish with an additional double crochet and a slip stitch. I really might just end up backing this with felt and using it as a little coaster. It's quite cute, isn't it? I think the Halloween colours are really helping it for the season. That is a brilliant pattern. I advise all of you go do it and look at other patterns that they've put up as well. I've got a few other ones of them on the board actually. Okay, our next cat pattern is out of Ukraine and therefore in Russian. Using the link provided, I've gone to this website, took screenshots and used Google Translate to translate the pattern. And as the pattern had an abbreviations column in it as well, I thought, this is brilliant. I am going to have 0 problems with this pattern. And for the most part, I didn't have any problems. But when I got to the feet, where the pattern was telling me to place certain things like the eyes and working the tail in, things just got wobbly. I think that's the best way to describe it. I think this may be a translation error, so if anyone wants to give this pattern a try, maybe you've got better translation apps that you can use than just the bog standard Google. Yeah, that might be better, but as you can see, here's the final piece. Yeah. Okay, moving on, let's do a cat coaster because why the hell not? Now, this is a tutorial which I believe is in Korean from this YouTuber. Now I'm going to try and butcher the name. And I've actually subscribed to her channel based on these video tutorials for this cat coaster because I just think her stuff, looking at the thumbnails, is just so stinking cute. So I will definitely be trying a few more of them in the future. Now, as I've said, this tutorial is video format and I'm unsure about how much I can put up of somebody else's video in my own video and the legality for it. So I'm just not going to. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to link the videos in the descriptions below. I might also put them on the end card. I think I can do that. I think I can, yeah. like I've said, I'm pretty sure it's Korean that she's speaking because she does do some counting in it. And I can actually count to 10 in Japanese, so it's definitely not Japanese, and I don't think it's Chinese or Mandarin at the very least, anyway. So I'm pretty sure it's Korean. Don't worry, she takes it very slowly, and she also puts the instructions on the banner of the videos. To do the cat coaster, there is actually two videos. The first video does the base of the coaster, and then the second one focuses more on the cat's actual head. She even clearly states where you're making colour changes if you choose to do them. Like I said, she does put the pattern instructions up. So the basic thing you need to know is that a lot of Asian patterns use the symbols uh, X, which is a double crochet, V, which is an increase, and A, which is a decrease. Of course, there's more. Those are just the basics, and they'll get you through the vast majority of the free patterns you're going to come across on the internet. This pattern has 7 pieces: a coaster, simply made on the round, a head, which is made um, a rounder chain. So you start with a chain, then you work completely around said chain. 2 paws, which are worked on the round. 2 ears, which are also worked on the round. And 1 tail, also worked on the round. And I absolutely could not resist using my sleepy little eyes here that I got ages ago and haven't used, and thus found out that they don't really stay in place and they're a bit wobbly. So when I use them on other projects, I might have to use a bit of felt and hot glue to keep them in place. But I love this coaster. It is so stinking cute, and you can mess with the eyes. Right, that's 2 wins and 1 translation error. Let's move on. I think today I've got time for a 4th one, but I did take an intermission here because Twin One had a gymnastics lesson. Now, I'm not sure who this pattern is actually by, as there are like a few names floating about on it, and the link didn't seem to go to the right place. So, as you can see here, this is all the information I have as well, just what I got from Pinterest. Again, you can see on the pattern we're using Asian terminologies. So we've got X, Y, and A. So X is double crochet. I said Y then, didn't I? No. X, V, A. V is the increase, A is the decrease. This pattern is actually Vietnamese. So I did go through Google Translate, and it had a few difficulties translating a few elements. So I actually went down a little bit of a rabbit hole and somehow managed to translate these names so I could actually give you the names of the pieces. So that makes me a little bit more confident about the cat. Maybe I should try and see. I don't even know how I ended up doing it. I figured out it was Vietnamese, and then I went to another Google translator within Google. I don't really know how I ended up there. I'm not the most techiest person. Right, so this word here, I'm not going to try and pronounce any of them. This is the head. This word here is body. This one here is the front legs. You need to make 2 of them. This is for the ears. Obviously, you need to make 2 of them. And this last one here is the back legs. You need to make 2 of them. Oh, and another one after the last one. This one. It's the tail. You don't get any construction tips, but oh, come on. Do you really need them for something like this? It's pretty damn obvious what you're doing, where you're putting the eyes and the details, and now you're putting it all together. And here you go. He's a grumpy cat. Grumpy. Feed him or else. Although everyone is quite taken with him in the house, and he may be stolen by very many people. I'm going to keep him. And here are all of our 4 here. They're great. Apart from that one. Go away. Oh, but no, we love everything we make here on this channel, don't we? Alright, guys, I will see you all next week for another Halloween style video. Bye, YouTube.